come to Phoenix, and on a back-to-back, all the way from Chicago. They lose to the Chicago Bulls. They come to Phoenix, lose to the Suns. I got Suns Geek on the pod tonight. John will be joining a little bit later from the pod. He'll let everybody know in the comments. But tonight, the Suns, they come out to a huge victory, 114-96, and I just messed that whole scoreboard. Dude, I never...
It's okay. We won. Man. That's all I know. We won.
That's all. Yeah, you know, I'm going to leave it there and see if John notices. And then he's going to start yelling. But yeah, the Suns win. I mean, 114-96. Great game. It was a game where in the second half, the Pistons came back early on in the third quarter. You thought maybe that the Suns were actually going to lose this game just due to the actual effort defensively by the Pistons and how good they are defensively. You're just like, the Suns might actually end up losing this. You don't have Devin Booker. You don't have Jalen Green, of course. So who's going to come through? And it's everybody again. They pull away by 20 points again, and it was over. But Suns Geek, how are you doing tonight, man?
Oh, I am fantastic, man. The Suns must listen to the Suns Jam Session podcast and Suns Geek, because I said on this channel, I said the Suns are going to win, baby. Now, I'm not going to lie. I was a little excited and full of caffeine when I said that, but I can't believe it. We just beat one of the best teams in the East, if not the best team in the East. And Dillon freaking Brooks had a 40-piece. I'm so excited to talk about this pod, man. Let's do this.
Yeah, let's just start right now.
Session podcast, shooting the shit about the Suns since 2019.
I wanted to jump straight into it because I know we have a lot to talk about, right? I think this is the most important thing that I have to bring up to start the pod.
Matthew, I've got to ask.
Suns Geek, do you believe that reptilians are actually taking over the earth and they actually control everything? Is that something you believe in?
Yes.
The first, I think, question.
And they took over Dillon Brooks' body tonight. So yes, they're very real.
Yeah, but my actual real question is, I'm really jealous I was not at the game because they had these villain t-shirts in black with Dillon Brooks on the front. Looked great, and they were giving them out for free. And I was like, that's the one game I want to go to and get a t-shirt, because usually the t-shirts are okay. They usually have fries in the back, like it's huge. It kind of hurts your back and all that. It's kind of scruffy. These ones looked amazing, man. Like, how much did you want one of those t-shirts? And is there someone you know? Is there a source you know that you can actually get one of those shipped to your house? Because those are beautiful.
That's what I was going to say, you guys. We have a pretty loyal audience, both of us, the podcast and my channel. So if anybody wants to get us one of those t-shirts, that would be awesome. I mean, come on, we work hard for you guys on these podcasts and shows. So if anybody can get us one of those shirts, that'd be appreciated. But yes, that's one of the more cooler shirts that I've seen in a while. I mean, there's been tons of t-shirt giveaways in the past. I've been at a few games here and there where I've gotten a cool t-shirt here and there. But yeah, that one was kind of different, man. An honorable mention, Matthew, the NBA Media Day, the Suns Media Day shirts that we got a couple years ago. I still have that. Still a pretty cool shirt, too.
No, I still do, too. And actually, I don't think it really fits me as well. Actually, it's maybe I have a couple tiers. I have 5 shirts that fit me right now and 2. And that's one of the 2 that are kind of fit me. I might wear to the gym that I go once a month and, just get kind of down and dirty there. But speaking of down and dirty, let's get into the bright side of the game.
Tell me the
bright side.
Love getting down and dirty. And you know who this guy definitely loves to get down and dirty.
Dillon, the villain.
40 points tonight from Dillon Brooks. He was 4 for 7 from 3. And, I was thinking going into this game, we can rely on him. Obviously, we are trustworthy in his shot. He's been increasingly more efficient as the games go by. This is a guy you didn't think maybe can run away with it, but he definitely did tonight with the 40 points. I mean, he got his last 2 with about 30 minutes left to go, 4 minutes left to go with a lay-in, and you're just like, all right, that kind of seals the game. He sealed the game with those 2 points. It was his 40th point. He checks out of the game. The Suns had this game pretty much wrapped up with about 5 or 6 minutes or even 7 minutes left in the game. Or when did you see this game was over? And Dillon Brooks, man, like coming through with a 40 burger on a night we don't have Devin Booker and of course no Jalen Green.
Yeah, no, I feel like this game was over about midway through the fourth quarter. I mean, credit to the Pistons. They went on a few runs here and there to keep it close. And we'll talk about that because you know me, I like to take my notes and everything. But the way the Suns were just playing as a team, which you kind of referenced earlier, just everyone contributed tonight, and it really showed. But Dillon Brooks was the facilitator. He did everything out there. This was just his night. Like any shot that he wanted to take, it was most likely going in. Any pass he wanted to make, it was going to hit the receiver. Playing great defense out there. He just had a different like spring in his step, and he normally has a spring in his step. But I really feel like the way that the Valley has embraced him, giving him the t-shirts tonight, it was Dillon's night. You know what I mean? Usually it's like a bobblehead night, but like this was Dillon Brooks' night. And I think he really just wanted to show the fans like, hey, I'm playing for the Suns now. I belong here. I'm not going to get traded. I'm staying here for a long time. I feel like he wanted to show the Valley, that he's going to be here for a long time. And this was his night. 40 freaking points, man. And he just had so many highlights. I knew he was getting it going because I think he had like 7 early points going like early on. And it felt like he had scored like all of them. I swear, I thought he had like the Suns' first 7 points, but I could be wrong on that. But one of those plays, by the way, early on was this little reverse layup where he kind of like scooped it in. I was like, oh, dude, Dillon Brooks is going to be cooking tonight, man. And, I've been talking about this a lot on my channel and sort of the podcast. Dillon Brooks has some nights here and there, and he's getting better at it, where he's just really patient with his shots. Now, he kind of started off a little excited, but that's fine. Like, it's Dillon Brooks night. But I feel like he was really patient tonight and in control, and it really showed, man. 40 freaking points. What do you think, man?
Oh man, a guy that was supposed to be in China 4 years ago playing overseas, kicked out of the league, has his own night now in Phoenix. We're celebrating him. It's not one of those nights where it's this team's tanking. It's not like a Dragon Bender night or Marquise Chris night. This is a guy that's well-deserved, shirts made. I don't even want to know how much those cost because I'm sure Matt Ishbia has coin to put up for those shirts, and it's well-deserved, well-earned, way to show up. And if you show up for your own t-shirt night, your own night, I mean, what is he going to do in the playoffs? Score 80 points? Like, this guy can show up when the lights are bright. And against a team in the Pistons that come in here and in the first half, they just kind of looked a little slow. After the first quarter kept going, they were tied about 13-13. Like you said, Dillon Brooks was scoring a lot of the points early on, but also like, it was more of like just the Suns defense, right? The Suns defense kind of turned out in the first half or the first quarter to end the first quarter, but the 3-point shot was falling for the Suns. They hit 9 of them in the first half. They went up 19 points in the first half. They were killing this team in the first half. And it was one of those games where you thought maybe it's over early. Maybe at halftime, this game is over, because that's how it felt. And Eddie Johnson kept saying on the broadcast, he's like, hey, the Suns can't let these guys have easy shots, because they were kind of giving up some easy corner shots there to end the first half.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, you can't let them back in. But they did in the second half to start the second half, and then they took off again, got a 20-point lead. So freaking A, dude. Just it's incredible how this team can show you one side and you'll be a little nervous, like, oh, they're gonna let them back in. This is the best team out east. But then they turn on the gears again and they just freaking go. They take the game. It's over early in the fourth quarter. And you're just comfortable with these guys. I think the first half, though, like when you're watching this team, does it just bring smiles to you? Because I am definitely smiling, and not a lot makes me smile, but this team definitely does.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. I have clapped, and I mean like actually clapped more times from my couch this season than I did all of last season. Like, I'm actually excited to watch Phoenix Suns games. I don't want to skip or miss a moment. Even if I have to listen to it like on Arizona Sports Radio, which they do a great job, by the way. I don't mind listening to it on the radio, but like I will do that if I have to. I don't want to miss a minute of Suns basketball because this team is just so connected. They're having so much fun out there. They're doing the little things out there, which you're going to hear me say that like a million times on both of our channels, because it's true. They do the little things out there. The chemistry is off the charts. They are so great. And I'm kind of glad that you had mentioned that, because the Pistons really did start off the third quarter pretty well. And I was like, like, all right, Suns, come on, you're taking your foot off the gas. Let's not ruin that great first half that we had. And maybe we can talk about this later, but I remember the Pistons got stuck, I think, at like 76 points. I think they 6 straight minutes without a field goal. That's insane. And it does happen from time to time. But for the Pistons, man, like that was wild. I think that was when I knew we really won the game.
Yeah, I think one of the bright sides too from the game, you realize how good the Suns are against the East competition, right? They played the Pistons earlier on the road trip, and they should have won that game.
Yeah.
They lost, of course, to the Heat in a close game, but really anybody out East, it's an easy kind of schedule, and you don't really have to worry too much about being too competitive at times, because I feel like a lot of those teams just don't really have a definite answer to the West and how tough the West is and how tough the West does play. So coming into Phoenix, I was like, I feel like this is going to be a win. I didn't care that that Devin Booker was out again. I didn't care that Jalen Green was out again. Like, even if Colin Gillespie misses his game, who of course is a bright side of tonight's game, I'm not too worried. I don't care. I'm going to sit down, just like when the Suns are 1-4 early in the season, and I'm going to love this team. I'm going to love me some Suns basketball because it's just fun to watch, and you know you're going to get a competitive team. And the competition, man, right now, the whole league, the Suns have been on watch for a while now, about 2 weeks, maybe to a month. Who knows when they started taking notice, the media, the players, all that, the other teams scouting, but they still are the same exact team. They have not let down game after game. It is insane how well this team plays. And I do want to talk too about the first half a little bit more, because I think that for a team to come into Phoenix after playing in Chicago, the way the Suns came out, were moving the ball, they were making this team dizzy. Of course, they were hitting their 3-point shots, but to move the ball, to be that fast offensively, it'll wear a team down, right? I mean, coming from the east side to the west side, even though you're flying first class, it'll wear them out a little bit. Like, they had a little bit of a fight in the third quarter, but they just didn't have that much tonight, right? Detroit?
Yeah. No, I'm glad you mentioned that, because Detroit really is a great defensive team. I mean, their starting lineup is dudes full of like 6'6". Like they have a lot of size and length out there. And they're obviously young and athletic, and clearly they're the number 1 seed in the East for a reason. And a lot of that is because of their defense. And even though it may not seem like it tonight, they are very well coached too. There were so many times where like the Suns just made tough shots. Like the Pistons did everything right. They would close out right. They would contest right. They'd be in the Suns' face. They make the Suns make that extra pass. But we just had one of those nights where we started cooking early on. We had our foot on the gas early on. And I think that's one bigger reason why we won the game. And I hope that the Suns will take note of this. Like, I know that not every game is going to be like tonight, or not every game is going to be like the Brooklyn Nets game or whatever. But like, start the game off well, and you're probably going to win a lot of games. And fun fact, I saw this on the broadcast. The Suns are now 14-0 when they're leading by halftime by 10 plus points. Again, I know not every game is going to be like that. Sometimes it all comes down to how you finish, not how you start. But sometimes it's also vice versa. You know what I mean? But you get my point. 14-0 when we have a 10 plus point lead after halftime. So keep doing that, Suns.
Yeah, that's consistency. And Brian Dropkin in the chat says, get Dillon in the All-Star game. But, if Dillon Brooks was actually, this is a question for you too, Suns Geek, if he was on the Rockets or Lakers, putting up these stats, leading a team by example, he's the heart and soul of the team. Do you think with those two teams, he would actually have a chance to be in an All-Star game? Because I think it's a struggle for Devin Booker to make it now, because I think Kawhi might jump him. So maybe due to injury, Booker makes it, but it's something to think about, obviously. But obviously, I don't care too much about the All-Star game. I just love it right now, just on the court with the regular season. And the way that we kind of just didn't care about the tournament too much is kind of helpful, I feel like, because the New York Knicks won the tournament. They kind of fell off. The Suns have kind of navigated the season so well to where they don't let the outside noise really come into the locker room. And that's just that's a fun thing to observe, right? And I think a fun guy really to watch. And this might be the first time we're playing his drop, so I'm going to pop his cherry. And I don't know if John played this or not, but sorry, John, I'm going to pop his cherry.
Hey, it's John Murray. Booyah! Hey, it's John Murray. Booyah! John Murray. It's John Murray. Booyah!
On the comments if that's actually been played before, but I don't think it has been, and I had to throw it out there because Booyah has been so magical out there. There was a slow motion video that was released, obviously recorded by the Phoenix Suns on the sideline, where he is weaving in and out of the defense, goes up for the layup, and it looks like just poetry in motion. It's something that is just really beautiful to look at. But the way this guy comes in night in, night out, I don't think I talk about him too much. the way he navigates and even knows on a fast break tonight to where he's going against 2 Pistons in the lane, he's going to go up and lay it up. Is he one of the best finishers at the rim for the Suns? I remember Campaign used to be that way too. He was pretty good, but he used to get in slumps and just throw some dog shit off the back of the backboard. This guy knows how to finish. And when it comes to guards, like we had that with Okogie, was really good at that at times. But he's consistently good at the rim. Like he can get up and over anybody. Is it because the defense is not expecting it, or is it just that damn good right now?
A little bit of both. It's one, I don't think the defense is expecting it, but two, I think he's just so excited and happy to be here, and he's thankful for the minutes that he's getting, the well-deserved minutes, by the way. And I think I've talked about this a lot on my show and this podcast. He's a lot more athletic than he looks. He's a lot quicker than he looks. I think I might have mentioned it last podcast or a couple. We've done so many shows together lately, I don't even remember, but he reminds me a lot of Ish Smith and Leandro Barbosa a little bit. And then you just said it too. He's got a little bit of Campaign in him too. Like I get it. Like I see what everyone's talking about now with these little comparisons here and there. But even though he's been surprising me all season long, that layup that you mentioned between the 2 Pistons defenders, one of them I think was Isaiah Stewart, by the way. He's a big guy, you know what I mean? That even surprised me. And if you go back and look at that highlight, Ryan Dunn was like wide open in the corner. He could have easily just dished that out, but he was like, nope, I'm going to take this up and just scoop it in. He got literally swarmed by them, and he still made that shot. And look, this is probably an overreaction because I'm obviously hyped from the win, but that's the kind of layup that will get you like a consistent role on this team. And he keeps on doing that, man. He just has these little plays, these little moments every game he plays, whereas he just stands out. I'm like, dude, this guy deserves to be on the roster. And that's another conversation, another podcast for another time, but he deserves it, man. He's been playing so well for us. And you know, it's like if we're looking at the numbers, like he's not going to blow you away. Like 6 points, 3 for 8 shooting, that's fine, whatever. But 2 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 steals. Like, come on, like you can't. He's just been so good, man.
Yeah, and those steals are crucial too. They're usually in the fourth quarter. He had one against I think it was Cunningham coming down, and he just took the ball away from him.
Not easy to do, by the way.
Not easy to do, but he's a guy really that can change the momentum instantly. Plays very confidently. You saw him kind of get it into the refs a little bit today, so I think they kind of spoke to him like, "Hey, be more vocal." And you're probably going to be on this team in the future for heading into the playoffs. You're going to be a big focus on this team to where you're going to bring that energy. You're going to be the backup ball handler. Even when we have Jalen Green coming in, like this guy's going to play a big part for the Suns in the future this year. And he has to be more vocal. He is kind of quieter a little bit, but he has to get his way. He's that good to where he can kind of work the rest a little bit right now and kind of get into his own shot. Just run the offense, do what he does. But man, dude, this guy is just a joy to watch. It's just a total joy to watch. But Suns Geek, what did you have tonight for your bright side?
Well, real quick, I don't know if you are seeing the backstage or whatever, but I shared a screen of a tweet that John posted of Suns head coach Jordan Ott wearing Dillon's t-shirt. I don't know if you, whenever you get a chance, if you could share that. But continuing on though, can you? Yeah, if you could just share that just real quick. I mean, come on. That's so good, man. That's our head coach, Jordan Ott, wearing the Dillon the Villain t-shirt. I mean, does that not sum up our season right there? Just how connected this team is. And I love Jordan Ott, man. He is, I mean, like, I know most coaches defend their players, but like he really defends our players. He trusts and loves our players. And I think they were talking about this on the broadcast. I took a note of this. Jordan Ott, I want to say this might have been in the first half, maybe like late. I want to say like second quarter. Royce O'Neal and Ryan Dunn were about to check in, and I forgot who was out there. It might have been like Oso and like that kind of like second unit group, but like he gave them an additional like minute and like 30 seconds because he just wanted them to have that couple extra possessions. He literally stopped Royce O'Neal and Ryan Dunn from subbing in just so he could see what the rest of this group could do. Now, like, unfortunately, nothing really came of that, but like, I love that. Like, he trusts the guys that are out on the court. Like, that's what a coach should do. And he's been doing it like all season long, man. Sometimes here and there, I think he trusts the guys a little too much when it's like, okay, the game's over like 5 minutes ago, put in the rookies and all that. But still, I love that, man. Just that's another bright side. But I had a question though. Are you able to play the Grayson Allen drop?
Yeah, baby.
Let me tell you a little story about a guy who shoots threes. Everyone hates him because he's a dookie. He's pretty underrated if you're asking me. His name is Grayson Allen.
I was planning to play that drop, but I only wanted to play half because he played a really good first half.
Yeah.
Second half was okay. Hit 1 3. He started off with 3 threes. Looked like he was going to score about 10 or 11 threes tonight. Didn't really work out that way, but your take on Grayson Allen tonight?
Yeah, you know, like you said, he did have a great first half, or really a first quarter, it kind of felt like, and that's kind of why I want to give him his flowers. Like, I know he didn't really finish the game that strong, but he still makes my bright side because before Dillon really started cooking, like Grayson Allen was a part of that as well. And it did seem like it was going to be one of those nights where he's going to have like 9, 10 threes or whatever. But I just thought he was really impactful in that first half and finished the game, I believe, with 5 assists as well. Just keeps contributing out there, man. Like, even though some of his nights are, quote, inefficient, or he's like shot chucking out there, which I'm not going to lie, there was a few shots I was like, all right, Grayson, like, come on, man. Like, you already had your heat check 3, which was a miss, you know, but like, what can you really blame the guy? Like, there's no Devin Booker out there. There's no Jalen Green out there. Like, somebody else has got to get the shots, because if not, Dillon Brooks would have had like 80 points tonight. So he makes my bright side. I understand if he doesn't make other people's bright sides or whatever, but I thought he was pretty good tonight.
Well, I mean, like, what are you going to do with him? Like, I mean, when he comes out there, hits the big threes, he's doing it upon himself, right? He's putting himself in the right position. He's making sure that he's maneuvering the ball at times too, taking over the offense. And it's a lot to ask from him too. Like, he's definitely a guy that can do it, but to what extent, right? When he has the other guy like Devin Booker, maybe tonight he does hit 8 threes. Like, what if he continues to get more hot because the pressure's not so much on him, but other guys? So, you know, these guys that are coming through, it's like they might kind of deflate here and there throughout the game and just not kind of be themselves the whole game, the whole 48 or 30 minutes that they're playing, or 35 minutes. But they are definitely guys that are just succeeding in huge spurts during the game. Like, having him in the first quarter have 12 points, like, if we don't have that, maybe it's a closer game at the end of the first quarter. Second quarter is maybe a different thing. But obviously, Dillon Brooks comes through huge in the second quarter. But I do think that there's something with Grayson Allen that I'm not going to talk about the trades or anything like that, but this guy is way more valuable in the playoffs, I feel like, with the nitty gritty, but also like talking more shit lately. Last game, when that scuffle happened at the end of the game, I was thinking he was standing over. I forget who it was, but he was standing over and talking shit, and the guy was kind of ignoring him. But is he like kind of turning it on to where he has that extra energy now to be like the villain like senior, or what would he be, the villain senior or something on the team? Because we already have junior and the regular villain. So I'm just saying, like, in the playoffs, that's what I'm excited to see, how he comes through, physicality, what he can do to lead this team with his voice too at times when it gets heated. Because I've been seeing more and more of that, because you kind of forget last season and earlier this season what Grayson Allen used to be. Maybe the villain himself, Dillon Brooks, is bringing a little bit more of what Grayson Allen used to be back into his life. So that's going to be exciting, because I think obviously when the playoffs start, it's going to be more intense, right? The Suns play the Cavs next game. That's going to be an intense one, so we'll look out for that. But was there anybody else you had on your bright side? Obviously, it was a fabulous game to watch, so I'm sure you had maybe a few more points.
Oh, yeah. I need to call Colin Gillespie drop, man. I need it in my life.
Your villain junior is Colin Gillespie.
And I call it Gillespie.
I feel like the bartender a little bit, just kind of serving you drinks. You're like, oh, let me get a little shot of whiskey and then some Patron, and you throw up. So
let me get a shot of the villain junior, Colin Gillespie. You were just talking about how how Grayson Allen can be villain senior. We got a whole team of villains, man, and I'm okay with that. If they want to talk their shit, go for it, man. Like, I'm not saying we're going to win the championship, but like, we are the surprise team of the NBA. We are arguably a top 10 team, if not a top 10 team in the league. Talk your shit. And Colin Gillespie is a guy that doesn't really do that. And that's okay, because he's had a great season and he found his shot tonight. What was he? 5 for 11 from 3 tonight. And like, there was 1 3, I want to say, with like less than 4 minutes left to go in the third, where he like pump fake, kind of dribbled it, hit the 3. I was like, that's the ball game right there. I was like, it's over. Just he just has those big shots, and especially with no Devin Booker and no Jalen Green out there, we needed him out there. Just his presence alone out there, and the fact that I think he has been on scouting reports, like the fact that he was out there to help ball handle, help facilitate, help take and make big shots, really helped open up the game for Dillon Brooks, but 2 allowed Grayson Allen to do what he did, especially in the first half. But he was great tonight too, man. What did he finish with? 16 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Now he did have 3 turnovers, but he did have that hand. I think he hurt his hand or whatever, but he still went out there and played. Like, this guy loves playing out there. He contributes most games, if not all games, and he makes my bright side, man.
Yeah, every time you see him, he does look like he's beat up a little bit. He reminds me and looks like kind of Rocky Balboa out there. Like, I don't know why, but his face always kind of looks a little bit bruised. He looks a little bit worn down, maybe a little bit like, I don't know. It's just something about him every game. And maybe it's a long season. Maybe this is the most obvious he's ever played. So it's kind of getting to him. But like you said, he's consistent no matter what. So continue to play him at this pace because we definitely need him. But do you ever see that in him? Do you ever see him and just like, damn, dude, the guy looks like he needs a little bit of sleep? I don't know if you ever noticed that, but I definitely do.
Well, as somebody who looks like he needs a lot of sleep, because I do need a lot of sleep because I got these bags under my eyes. No, I get that though, but that's because it's
I have
because
butthole eyes. Sorry, I do.
Okay.
That's what they look. Mine look like buttholes. So go ahead.
I'm just saying, man, as a guy who looks tired, and I know you're very tired these days. Congratulations, by the way. It's like he deserves it, man. I mean, this was a guy who, his rookie year, won a championship with the Nuggets, although he was injured a lot of that, if not, I think the whole year. Spent time in the G League. We all saw the disaster that happened last year, even though there was a couple stretches where he played pretty well. It's like he deserves this, man. He deserves to be tired out there. He deserves to get these minutes, man, whether he's fully healthy or not. I'm so glad Colin Gillespie's on this team.
Yeah, me too. And, if it wasn't for him, obviously the Suns wouldn't be keeping up in the standings because when Jokic went out earlier this season, everyone kind of predicted the Nuggets would kind of fall off. And it hasn't happened. They stayed the course. They've been on little win streaks here and there. They lost the last game, but they won, I think, tonight or maybe last night. But they are 32-16 now. So that was one team I kind of thought the Suns might be able to jump because Jokic, the big thing was like when he's out of the lineup, they can't play at all. They're not successful, but they've been a team. They've been able to scrap. So my bright side really is I've actually noticed this in the NBA. Like I watch quite a bit now, and I think that just because I have the league pass now, so it's kind of nice. And I love watching the Hornets. We call them the horny Hornets. They're my favorite. I love them. But
they've been playing good lately.
They've been playing really good. But do you think there's more teams that are just kind of bad this year? Like all of a sudden they're just like the schedule itself might have looked daunting maybe a month ago. But I'm like, they're not that good, like a lot of these teams. But then I was going through it. I'm like, you know what? They're all pretty scrappy out west. I think only the Kings and the Pelicans are sure of victory. But even the Jazz and Mavericks might surprise you. The Grizzlies at times might surprise you. The Clippers are coming back. The Trailblazers are looking good again. They were falling off but like where the Suns are right now in the standings, it's been so impressive to hold that 6-7 seed while these guys get hurt. Maybe Book's not back for another week. Who knows? Or maybe 2 weeks. But like tonight's game, man, it doesn't matter who we play. We're going to be there right in the end. And we might blow them out by 20. Who knows, right?
And I'm kind of glad you mentioned the standings because I think I talked about this, man. Like, I feel like for the most part, not in the correct, like the order's going to flip flop. Teams are going to go up and down. It's going to be literally like a ladder. But I feel like for the most part, 1 through 10 are pretty much locks. But what's crazy, and I think you hinted at it, like even the Grizzlies could still somehow make the playoffs. Maybe the Mavericks. That's how crazy the Western Conference is. And I don't know what happened to the Clippers, man, but they've just been kicking at. They're 9-1 in their last 10 games, and they're the 10th seed. If the play-in tournament didn't exist, maybe we'd be having a different conversation. But still, man, I thought the Clippers were like free falling. I thought they were just going to literally blow it up, retool. All of a sudden, they're like one of, if not the best team in the league, man. It's crazy. They're the 10th seed, but I'm just thankful the Suns are 10 games over 500, 29-19, and I'll take the 6th seed. That's all I'm saying, man.
All right. Well, you know what? A lot of stuff it's looking up for the Suns, especially the standings. But should we get into the burn book? Do you have anything in the burn book? I have just a couple of things to hit on. What do you think?
Yeah, we can do it.
Right. The Suns Jam session. Burn book.
There was a lot of praise last game from Mark Williams and the way he played, the 27 points, obviously. But the first quarter was pretty nasty, right? The paint was definitely owned in the whole first half. They gave up, the Suns did, they gave up 34 points in the paint. But in the first quarter, they gave up 22 points in the paint. And that Pistons had 31 points. So that was the majority. It was a free for all. So the thing is with Mark Williams at times, especially when you're playing against Duran, like the guy's athletic, he moves quickly, and you can just see how Williams has a hard time keeping up defensively. And there's always a praise for Williams, and we love him who he is, but it kind of just sets you back down to earth with the guy a little bit. Just realize like, oh yeah, he's a good center, but at times like he might be outplayed by a little bit more athletic guy, a guy he might be an all-star in a couple of years. Who knows? Because this guy Duran is pretty incredible defensively, offensively. His moves, he's like kind of what we kind of hoped. I feel like DeAndre Ayton might be down low in the post, but never became. But tonight's game with Williams, did it kind of just fly over your head with the way he played, or was it kind of noticeable defensively how bad he was in the first half? Second half was better, right? He had a few good blocks. And he looked better, but first half it was pretty awful, I thought, by the guy. What'd you think?
Yeah, I feel like I've said this before, but there's just some games where I feel like he kind of just fades away, and I just don't know if that's just like a matchup dependent kind of thing, or if kind of like you mentioned, he just sometimes gets outplayed by great players. And this one player, I hope a lot of Suns fans are going to remember his name, Jalen Duran, because he's probably going to be an all-star this year. Probably going to be an all-star for many years to come. He's a lot taller and stronger than he looks, and he can move well for his size. And I think that might have just kind of took a lot out of Mark Williams. Now, I don't want to burn him too much tonight because, like you mentioned, he did play a lot better defensively in the second half. He had like a volleyball block tonight, like late in that second half. I was like, that's good. Like, that's the Mark Williams we need. But unfortunately, it's just like he does have games where he kind of fades out. And again, I don't know why that is. Like, I don't know if he's just not receiving the ball too much. He's getting outworked out there. But I don't want to like burn him too much because there was two plays tonight where he ran the floor and caught a lob. Like I don't remember DeAndre Ayton doing it that much. I'm not saying DeAndre Ayton didn't catch lobs, but like running the freaking floor like a train and dunking it. However, that being said, I remember there was one of those alley-oops, literally next possession down, Jalen Duran just drives right in for an easy layup. So,
yeah,
you know, it's a work in progress. He's a great center, but like, is he ever going to be an all-star center? I don't know. But Mark Williams has been good. That's all I'm going to say. He's been good. He's been good.
And I'm scratching a claw here. It's nothing really big, but it's just something I noticed. Obviously, it was really got us in trouble. Another thing, too, was EJ was really hard on the Suns ending the first half, talking about, come on, don't let these easy shots go. And I was going to I want to put that in my burn book. How dare you, EJ? But I'm like, no, actually, that is exactly how I think. And it's exactly how the Suns play opposite of that, is letting these teams have easy shots, getting them back into the game. So I'm just like, I love that commentary because it hits at home. And I feel like a lot of people, including Suns fans, are sitting there. They're just like, man, we can't let these easy shots go because this is one of the best teams in the East. You're kind of scared because you're without Booker. So every little possession matters. And you just realize that's what the Suns team is, right? When that does happen, it's noticeable. You're like, what are they doing? They're not playing hard. And but when you're watching other games, like the Lakers games, and you're just like, damn, like some of these teams just don't play 100% half the game. Like they just kind of come in and fit with 5 minutes left and just try to take the win. But this team is just, I think, noticeably at times 2% of the game where they just don't play hard. We notice it. And I just think that's kind of funny. It's not really a burn book. It's just kind of something I noticed. I'm like, yeah, we do notice
sort of a good
problem,
though.
Yeah,
it's sort of a good problem. And I'm kind of glad you talked about that because they really did start off the third quarter like pretty bad. Like they just looked lackadaisical out there. I'm pretty sure JB Bickerstaff like yelled at his team in the locker room and they just came out and responded. But what's funny about that is after that really good Pistons start, that was when I think they went like minutes without a bucket and the Suns went on like an 11-0 run. And I think Dillon Brooks had like 10 of those points or whatever. But point being, like they do need to keep their foot on the gas. So if I'm going to burn them, and I put that in quotations, because again, these are good problems to have. They need to keep their foot on the gas, especially coming out after, halftime.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think it's something to be said though, too, with the Suns team. They approach these games in a way where you know how they're going to look every game, right? Like you're not going to be surprised by something different, right? It's just something that works with them. They move the ball, they shoot the three very well. They come out, find the hot hand, they play great defense. It doesn't change game to game. And it could be boring at times, but someone said in the chat earlier, it's like every fan of other teams, it's like their favorite team, the Suns. Say that now, but I feel like in the playoffs, it's going to be a totally different story where people are going to start hating the Suns. And they're going to hate Booker. And speaking of hate, let's just get into the subreddit really quick.
The Suns Jam Session subreddit stakeout.
I meshed those two together.
It kind of works though. I don't know why.
Brought to you by Nettles Air, great air conditioners. Check them out. They are pretty big. I don't know. I went to the warehouse and checked them out, so they're pretty good size units. So actually, I wasn't even in subreddit. I hit that whole thing, and I was like, "Shit, I forgot to do subreddit tonight." I didn't. It was a choice. I actually wasn't in there, but I want to give a shout out to Nettles Air because last pod when I hosted, I actually did not even give a shout out to the late in the pod. And I forgot what he even did. So, that's why I threw that out there. But tonight we can actually hand out the hardware. I think we have a Jam Star for sure.
Jam Star of the Game.
And Jam Star is actually brought to you by Bubba Chubb's Cards. You can go ahead and scan the QR code down there. And I wanted to share what John got me for my birthday. He got me the starting five for the Suns in their finals run. You have DeAndre Ayton, who is my favorite, and then you have Devin Booker, Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, Devin Booker again because he was our sixth man, and then Mikal Bridges. Yeah, but I don't think those are from Bubba Chubbs, but those are cards he gave me. But go ahead and check them out. Tonight's Jam Star, I think I'm just gonna say it for everybody, but you can let me know if I'm wrong. But Dillon Brooks is the Jam Star tonight, right?
Dude, I don't know, man. Normally I'm like, I know who my Jam Star is, but like there was just so many great performances. No, seriously, you guys, there's nobody else. It was Dillon freaking Brooks. It was NBA All-Star Dillon Brooks. Everybody put it in the chat right now.
Vote for
All-Star Dillon Brooks. Go vote, even though the voting's over. Go vote for him anyways.
Is it over? I never vote. Do you vote for All-Star still?
I used to be into that kind of stuff, but I just stopped, man.
I remember going at Subway and filling out. They used to have like these little cards you would fill out for the All-Star break. I'm like, oh, this is awesome, dude. And you put in they put in a box. I'm sure they just throw the box away. But I used to fill those out and put those in there. I remember that. Good times, that was
man.
Crazy.
Don't get me wrong. I try to vote, but like I'm a busy guy, man. Like you gotta like sign in and log. It's too much, man. They gotta make it more simpler, but like not like in a spamming kind of way, but like make it more simple, but not to where you can just flood with votes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, definitely. I totally agree with you. And Mark Brooks agrees with us too. He says Jam Star is Dillon. Let's go ahead and look up
Dillon.
Lopez says Dillon. Mary 16 says Dillon. Suns team as a whole. And that's how I see it. Yeah. And I'm gonna admit something here. I didn't even know he had 40 points, so he got 40 points. I know he was killing it. But maybe that's hard to say because he was really killing it tonight. So I'm like, he has to have. There's just something about this team where I don't notice the individual performances as much. And I think that's probably weird to say. But I don't know. Maybe because I had a baby in my hand, I wasn't paying attention too much. I'm just joking.
I mean, maybe it's because this team plays as a unit. And like we saw tonight, like everyone contributes out there. And I think at one point he had like 36 and you probably thought the game was over. So he was going to get subbed out. And all of a sudden 40 points. So yeah,
definitely.
I get it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great game tonight, and I think that obviously Dillon Brooks is one of the most. He's the funniest guy on the team. He's hilarious, and I think EJ was talking about how quiet he is behind the scenes and stuff. And he is like, he's a guy that has his own persona when he goes on the court, but it's totally different off the court. And I think we all know that. But I didn't really know he was that quiet. But when EJ says he's quiet, maybe because EJ's so loud. We're gonna go ahead and looking towards the next game, and I think the Suns we'll have a little bit of trouble tonight or tomorrow night. I was gonna say tonight because I feel like maybe it's in the morning already, but the Suns do play the Cavs tomorrow night. The Cavs did blow out the Lakers last night, so in this game, I don't think Darius Garland's playing. Evan Mobley might be out, but like the Suns, the Cavs are a frisky team. They have their shooters, they have their defense. It's all kind of coming together lately for this team, but it's gonna be an epic game. And I said this before tonight's game where I'm like, if the Suns can pull this off without Booker, they're a championship contender. if they pull this off back to back against the Cavs, like this is a statement game if they can take this one, right? Don't you think?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. But like in all fairness, though, I think tonight was a statement game. But I get what you're saying, though. If we can pull the back-to-back off without Devin Booker, even if Jalen Green does play, like he's probably not going to be 110%. He'll probably be rusty and slow out there. If we can somehow beat this Cavs team, like you mentioned, it is kind of coming together for them-ish. I mean, they've won 5 in a row. I don't believe they're going to have Evan Mobley. I think he's out for like 3 weeks or whatever, but still, they are a good team, kind of like the Pistons. They're long, they're athletic. They have Donovan Mitchell, who's a really great player. Like, this team's really good. So tomorrow, yeah, I get what you're saying now. It would be a huge statement if we could win back-to-back games without Devin Armani Booker.
So, I mean, heading into next game, they can pull this one off. I think it's obviously, like you said, a big game or a big win, but it doesn't mean it's make or break the season. Like, I think this season is just totally different. Like you're like, I'm saying it's a statement game. I'm saying if you win this championship contender, all that, whatever, it's only halfway through the season. But it kind of is just like, well, if they lose, I still believe in this team to bounce back. You know what I mean? Like when they have those bad losses, they haven't had many this year. You just know they're going to come back. And it's never been a loss where I'm so disappointed in this team, right? Like the last few years. So whatever happens tomorrow night, I know it's going to be very, very competitive. I think we'll see you obviously right after. John will probably be on the pod with me unless he goes to the game tomorrow night. But Suns Geek, I think I'm going to end this a little bit early tonight.
No, it's all good, man. I'm exhausted, to be honest.
Okay.
It may not seem like it because I'm full of caffeine right now, but I'm exhausted.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm going to get a horse tranquilizer, put myself to sleep. Something to give me sleep. But yeah, thank you for coming on again. I think these are one of the better pods. Obviously, they're all great. But getting together with you, you're a really good co-host. I really appreciate you coming on always and joining our pod, and we're joining your pod, all that. So let everybody know where they can find you, of course. And if you haven't already, just go ahead and subscribe to his channel.
Yep. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me, man. Like I've done a very poor job of getting you guys on my channel, and that is a goal for 2026. I want to get both of you guys on, talk all things Suns, maybe crack open a few beers. You know, that's my goal. Yeah. I should do that like once or twice a year, but I don't do it. I'm going to do it this year. But yeah, if you guys are new to my channel or to the podcast, make sure to subscribe. I know the Suns Jam Session podcast has reached 4,000 subscribers, but check me out, you guys. I do YouTube shorts, post-game live shows, podcasts, videos, all that stuff. Search Suns Geek and you'll find me.
Yeah, thank you so much again. And everybody out there for watching tonight, make sure to go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, please. We will be, I think towards the end of the year, we'll be in full capacity over here at Suns Jam. I know there's been a lot going on. I'm on the pod, John's not. John's on the pod, I'm not. So I love a pod like No Dunks Pod where they're all on it. If one guy's missing, I'm like, it kind of sucks. I don't like it. And if Suns Geek's not on it, it kind of sucks still too. You know what I mean? So we'll get together a lot more towards the end of the season. John will be here. We'll be here, 3 heads just bobbing up and down, and we will get through the season. Hopefully we make it to the playoffs, and I hope we have a live show. We'll have a couple live shows, I hope, because those are fun as hell. So we'll definitely have something on the agenda. But everybody, make sure to go home and love your family. And
Hey, you're listening to the Suns Jam Session podcast, shooting the shit about the Suns since 2019.